Some parents protect their young for hours. An emperor penguin father guards one egg through the Antarctic winter without eating. For more than 2 months, the egg rests on his feet beneath warm skin, while his stored body fat steadily disappears. To conserve heat, the fathers form shifting huddles, using coordinated steps to share protection from the cold and wind. After nearly 70 days, the egg hatches and the tiny chick remains sheltered above the ice beneath its father's brood pouch. When the female finally returns, she takes the chick, releasing the exhausted father to end his 4-month fast at sea. In the Guianan rainforest, a male dying poison frog repeatedly returns to guard a tiny clutch developing on the forest floor. When the eggs hatch, one tadpole climbs onto its father's back, attaching itself for a dangerous journey toward water. Carrying its passenger, the father crosses roots, wet leaves, and steep vegetation to locate a safe nursery above the ground. He lowers himself into a water-filled tree hole, allowing the tadpole to detach and begin life in its isolated nursery. The father's journey ends here, leaving the tadpole to complete its development inside a nursery he selected. In southern Australian waters, a male pot-bellied seahorse carries the specialized pouch that will protect an entire pregnancy. After synchronized courtship, the female transfers her eggs into his pouch. It closes, and the father's pregnancy begins. Inside, pouch tissue supplies oxygen, regulates salts, and protects the embryos as its fluid gradually becomes more like seawater. When development is complete, powerful body contractions open the pouch and release fully formed young into the surrounding sea. The newborns receive no further care. Within moments, they swim upright, grasp vegetation, and begin surviving entirely on their own. Nearly 1,400 meters beneath California, a deep-sea octopus mother settles over her eggs and begins an extraordinary vigil. She keeps the capsules clean and oxygenated, never leaving them exposed while pushing hungry crustaceans away from the nursery. For 53 months, cold slows the embryo's growth as the fading mother remains fixed above the same developing clutch. At last, fully formed hatchlings leave their capsules and enter the deep ocean while their exhausted mother continues guarding the clutch. By the next observation, the mother is gone, leaving empty capsules behind after spending the rest of her life protecting her young. High inside an Indian tree, a female hornbill seals herself into a nest cavity, leaving only a narrow opening to the outside. Through the narrow slit, the male delivers fruit repeatedly, becoming the sealed female's only source of food. For more than 2 months, he makes repeated deliveries, carrying fruits and insects while she incubates inside the sealed chamber. After roughly 65 days, the weakened mother breaks through the wall, while her growing chick remains protected inside. Outside, the mother joins the male in feeding their chick, which reseals the entrance until it is finally ready to fly. On an African riverbank, a female Nile crocodile guards her buried eggs for months, confronting anything that approaches the nest. Near hatching, the young call from inside their eggs, and their mother responds by carefully digging open the nest. Jaws built to overpower large prey can gently carry fragile hatchlings from the nest toward the safety of water. One mother was recorded making 13 journeys between nest and water across more than 32 hours. After carrying them to the water, she remains nearby, responding to their calls during their vulnerable first weeks. Across the forest floor, a wolf spider mother carries her silken egg sac, keeping every developing offspring attached wherever she travels. When vibrations signal that hatching is complete, she stops moving and carefully helps open the sac so her young can emerge. The first spiderlings emerge, climb along her legs, and settle tightly across her abdomen instead of dispersing into immediate danger. Together, the brood can weigh almost as much as she does, while carrying them steadily drains her energy reserves. After 5 to 7 days, the first spiderlings leave gradually, while their mother continues guarding the dispersing brood. High in Sumatra's canopy, an orangutan infant begins the longest childhood of any non-human primate, 6 to 8 years. When a gap is difficult, the mother stabilizes a flexible branch, giving her youngster a safer route across the canopy. She tolerates close observation and food requests, allowing the youngster to learn how difficult forest foods are safely processed. Each evening, the youngster watches her arrange the nest, then practices placing leaves on a smaller platform of its own. By around 8, the youngster can feed and travel independently, ending years of direct care while remaining near its mother. In African wetlands, the female lays the eggs, but the smaller male performs the incubation and nearly all parental care. Once the chicks hatch, their father guards them alone, watching continuously as they begin life across the floating vegetation. At his alarm, the 3 chicks remain completely still, their striped down blending into the floating vegetation. When danger approaches, he tucks a chick beneath his wing, turning his body into a living shelter. The chicks feed themselves, but their father remains nearby for weeks, guiding and protecting them until independence. In East Africa, a female cichlid protects her fertilized eggs inside her mouth, transforming her buccal cavity into a living nursery. For roughly 2 weeks, she protects the developing fry while fasting, losing body mass but never abandoning the brood. When development is complete, she releases the fry into open water but remains close, continuing to guard them after birth. At danger's first signal, the fry return to her mouth, where she shelters them until the threat has passed. Across ice, forests, rivers, and oceans, survival often begins with a parent doing what seems impossible.